Hello everybody and welcome back to my garage 02 Hero. Alright, so yes, today is the day we are going to install the interior in our Superbee over at our shop. So yeah, I already took the car out of storage, and yeah, I actually also got Cyclone's new wheels and tires for his El Camino. So yeah, back at the shop we also have got a bunch of other parts, so we are definitely going to be busy. So let's get this all gal fired up and get back to our shop. Alright, and we are here at the shop, and yeah, I think what I'm going to quickly do is just offload these interior parts for the Superbee. So we are just going to put them somewhere in the garage. There's not really a lot of space because we actually had quite a couple of things that we had to bring back over to the shop. So yeah, let me show you guys around the Superbee and basically what is going to happen today. So in the trunk I did replace the tire on the spare tire and gave it a new paint, basically just to freshen it up a bit, so that is sorted out. So on the interior we are going to try and figure out how everything comes apart, because I haven't stripped an interior in a car like this before. So we are going to try and sort that out as well, and then hopefully we'll be able to get this thing ready for the auction. So you'll notice also that we are going to replace the hood. We do have a replacement hood over here, which is gonna suit our intake a little bit better, because at the moment this intake it doesn't really clear the hood very well, and this hood also has got a little bit of rust. We are just going to swap it out, and I'll send this hood over to Steve's pawn shop. He'll definitely give us a little bit of money back for that. So yeah, that is basically on the agenda for that. So what I'm going to do quickly is just offload all of these interior parts and just put them somewhere so that we can have a proper look at everything and see what is going to go where. Alright, so that took me quite a while. So yes, but the trailer is now empty, and we have got also the new wheels and tires for Cyclone's truck or El Camino offloaded. So yeah, let me quickly give you guys a little bit of a tour before we start working. So what we're going to do today is give this truck a coat of primer. So we are in the process of getting this thing ready to go to the auction. We're also going to be doing the utility bed, and then once we get the utility bed painted up in its final color, we will get the doors mounted. So I was able to track down everything we need to get this thing put back together. So those parts are definitely on their way. Maybe they'll arrive over the weekend, but we will see. So yes, that is basically that project. As you may know, the Dodge Superbee is getting its new interior, which I have offloaded just now. So that is what's going to happen with that car today. As for Cyclone's El Camino, as you can see, we have got a bunch of new parts on the table. We have to assemble this thing's suspension completely and just get this thing back on its wheels so that we can start buttoning up this project. We also have got the interior for this inside the garage, so that is basically over here behind the Superbee. So I'm just trying to keep everything separate, more or less. We've also got parts from the service truck laying here, so yeah, we definitely have got quite a few projects worth of stuff in this garage now. So I think what we are going to start with today is our Superbee over here. So let's first of all see if we can get that old hood removed and just see how the new hood is going to fit, and also if it's going to work. I just have to be careful not to step on all these interior parts scattered around the car, but I more or less got everything in position where it needs to go, so hopefully there will be no issues with that. Alright, so what we're going to do with this hood, we're just going to chuck it here outside, because I'm going to send that over to, or take it over to Steve's auto, or pawn shop rather, and see if he's going to give us a couple of bucks for it. So let's just bolt this hood down quickly. Alright, and the last bolt. Alright, so there we have our hood replaced, and I think it's already looking a little bit better. So what we're going to do with the old interior parts, we are also going to send that over to Steve's pawn shop, or take it over there. So first I just need to assemble a couple of things here. So we do have got the armrests for these door cards, so they actually just pop into place by the looks of it. It doesn't look like there's any screws or clips or anything like that involved. And this one is for the rear left, so let's just pop this one onto here somewhere. I think it goes over there, and this one is for the rear right. So we'll just pop that one on, and I already fitted this one just to see how everything comes together. So yeah, there's definitely a couple of things that I need to figure out here, because as I said, I haven't stripped interior out of these cars before, so it's just going to be a little bit of a learning curve for me. I'm not entirely sure where to even start. So I think what we're going to start with is a trusty old pry tool, because usually these panels, they might just pop off with the pry tool. Sometimes they have screws, sometimes they have bolts. So I think the easiest way to do this is to start checking if we can just pop these things off, which obviously is not going to be so easy. We might be able to take the armrest off first of all, and then this might have, okay, there we go. Yeah, it's got 2 bolts behind it, so that makes it a little bit easier. So we are going to pop off all of these armrests. So let's just remove the old panel. So this panel actually still looks decent, but yeah, as I said, we are just going to get rid of everything extra that we have laying around the shop, because we are kind of running low on space. So we're probably going to have to pop these things off again. All right, and we'll get that mounted, and then we can just get it bolted down there, and then we'll pop these armrests back onto place there. So I think it's going to probably be the same procedure for all the rest of the things inside the car. So I think what we're going to do is just work our way from here by removing these seats. All right, so there are 4 bolts just as usual. All right, so there's our old driver's seat. We're just going to chuck it outside. And then let's have a look at this rear seat. I think it's probably these bolts back here. We should be able to get it out through this door at the front. All right, so there we go. There's our old rear seat, so that is gone. Definitely quite shot. The passenger seat on this side doesn't look too bad, but as I said, we are doing a whole interior swap on this thing. Gonna try and make it as nice as possible. Right, so we've got all of our seats removed now, so this passenger seat also doesn't look too bad. So it's definitely something we could have used again. But I think what we're going to do is just scrap all of the old interior parts, because there's no use keeping them around. So we're just going to pop this little cover off the steering wheel. So we're just going to unbolt the steering wheel then. Should be plain straightforward. Alright, so now with the old steering wheel out, I think it's time to try and get this carpet removed. So we're just going to pop that out. And with the old carpet out, let's just chuck it outside. There we go. Alright, that carpet isn't too bad, but we can definitely just install the new one. Alright, so let's get our wrench again, because now we need to remove this gear shifter. Alright, so there's the old gear shifter. So we've got a brand new one, but I decided to just go with the normal one. We're not going to go with the pistol grip shifter in this car. So let's just remove this steering column. It looks like it's just 2 bolts. Alright, so there's our old steering column. It's actually still in very decent condition. But over here on the table, we do have got the new replacement part, which is going to match our interior. So I think we can go ahead and just install this, because once we get the carpet back in, we're not going to be able to get to those bolts properly. Alright, so let's grab our new carpet. Alright, we are just going to grab the new carpet and pop it into place like that. And then we need to grab our shifter. Alright, so we can get this put back in and bolt it down. Alright, so now we're going to try and figure out how this dashboard comes out. So I'm not sure if it's got screws or if it pries out. So let's see with our pry tool if it's going to come out. I doubt it actually, because I'm not too sure. So the cluster will pop out. Alright, so there's the cluster. Alright, and then, yeah, as for the dashboard, it looks like it's got some bolts underneath, just there and there. I really hope it's going to be that simple. So let's grab our wrench. And let's come down here. We're going to unbolt it over there. And on that side. And there we go. That is our dashboard free. Right, so I believe the stereo was still working, so I'm going to go ahead and just pop the stereo out. Just give it a little bit of a visual inspection if it's still in good nick. Alright, so our stereo, it definitely looks like it'll still work. So we're going to pop it into the dash just like that. And then we are going to need our screwdriver, because we need to mount our new glove box. Let's just screw those two screws down. Alright, so that is looking very good. So let's close up that, and we're going to grab the whole dashboard, the new one. Just going to try and get it into position. Just like that. And let's bolt it down over there. And also over there. And that is our dashboard sorted. So with that done, we can now get our new steering wheel mounted. So let's grab the steering wheel. We'll pop it on. Bolt it down. And put this little cap over it. Alright, so that is coming along very nicely. It's definitely a lot of work and a lot of stuff to check. So let's pop up this little pillar trim out. So that is also blue. So we're going to change everything out. We've got everything brand new in black. So let's pop that part in. And as for these kick plates, right, so the kick plates, yeah, this one isn't so bad, but we've got a brand new one, so we'll just pop the new one in. And we'll just go ahead and replace this one on this side as well. Simple like that. So there's the old one, and here's the new one. Let's pop it in, and let's get this trim, or this pillar trim out. Just put it down over there, and let's pop this one in. Right, so next up, what I think I'm going to do is just get this headliner removed. So that is usually done by removing the rear view mirror. Alright, so we're just going to unscrew the rear view mirror here, both the screws, and then that should come off. Alright, we'll just pop that in our backpack, and we'll grab the old headliner. Alright, so there's the old headliner out. We'll just chuck it over there, and we'll also chuck the old mirror there, because we've got a brand new mirror going in this thing as well. Alright, so we have got the sun visors we need to salvage from our old headliner, obviously, because they are the matching color. Alright, so let's just get this screw down again. Alright, and then we need to remove these sun visors, which is probably going to be a little bit of a mission, but let's see if we can pop them open. Alright, so I've got the sun visors off now, so we can continue and just put this headliner back over there. And we're going to just install these sun visors back, because they are still fairly decent. Alright, so let's just zip it down over there. And that's the first one. Let's grab the other one over here, which is also quite decent. Alright, so pop it on there. And just screw it down like that. And I believe that is most of the stuff done. Now we just need to get our pry tool. And let's get the rest of these armrests removed. Alright, we'll just chuck them out. Alright, that one we can just drop down there. And there we go. So we've got all the bolts exposed now. So we should be able to get all of these panels removed. So let's just chuck it outside. And we're going to have to remove the other arms as well, headrests as well, armrests, not headrests. Alright, so there's the other panel on that side out, and then the last one would be this door panel over here. And yeah, I'm just kicking stuff around the garage. As I said, we've got a lot of cleanup work to do after this episode. But yes, luckily it's the weekend now, so we will be able to do that on our own time and just take it nice and easy. Right, so we're going to come over here, we're going to grab our pry tool once again, because we need to get these armrests off. Alright, let's just move that out of the way. And we'll just pop these into place, just like that. Right, so let's grab this one, put that into place over there. Let's grab this one over here and put this panel on. Good, and then we can bolt it all down. Right, so over there, and the last one over here. Right, so that is perfect. We are definitely making progress. Right, so let's put this armrest on there, and yeah, this one. Let's grab this one. This one will go onto there. And where did I put? Oh, there it is, the last one. And just like that, this interior has basically been converted to black, and I think it's going to suit our Superbee a little bit better. Right, so the last things we need to do are the seats. So let's start with the back seat. Just going to put it into place. Let's find our wrench over on the other side of the car. All right, and then we're going to just come down here. We're going to bolt it down over there and over there. And let's actually do our driver's seat. All right, zip it down over there and over there. And also that one. All right, and then the last seat we are just going to grab, put it over there, and just make sure we bolt everything up. All right, and just like that, we have completed the interior changeover on this car, and I think this thing is now as ready as it's ever going to be for the auction. So yes, that is what's going to happen over the weekend. So you guys might be able to start bidding on this vehicle, yeah, shortly after this video has released. So yeah, this is definitely a true gem that we got off Minties, and it required a little bit less work than our Chevy Chevelle did when we actually got it at first with the property. So Minty was very willing to trade this car because it had a blown engine for the Chevelle. And that is how we ended up with this beautiful Superbee that we are now going to send over to auction. So I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with this car. We went through suspension. We did rebuild the engine. So the engine is brand new. We've got some other wheels and tires on it now than I had on it. So those wheels that came off this is actually on our Impala now. So yes, this car is basically ready to be shipped over to the auction, and we're going to see what kind of money we can get off this one. So yeah, we've got to probably clean up the shop, but we'll do that a little bit later off camera, so I'm not going to bore you guys with that. So what we're going to do now is, I think let's quickly do the respray on the service truck, because we just need to do primer. So it's going to be quite easy, quite fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it a little bit away from the grass, so that we can see a little bit better on the opposite side what we are doing. But that is going to require a shifter, because as you guys know, we didn't have a shifter for the Camino. So I kind of had to borrow the one from that truck. So what we're going to do is we're just going to install this one temporarily. It's the one that came off the Superbee, and that'll make this truck drivable once again. So let's just put our wrench back in the toolbox and see if we can get this thing moved. Alright, I must say this engine that we got from Groomies is definitely running very well. It hasn't given me any problems firing up at all. Right, so I think this is a good spot. We'll just park it over here. And yeah, I actually didn't bother sandblasting this thing further. I think it's going to be good enough just for, the purpose of getting this thing ready for its auction as well. Just want to check, we do have got primer in the spray paint compressor here, so we're just going to go ahead and make sure that can is in properly. Right, so let's bring our spray paint compressor outside. And yeah, I don't care, we are going to be spraying outside here in the wind and everything, so I don't think it should reach the Camino. So I'm just going to go ahead and cue some music, and we are going to get this thing painted up in primer.
In the neon light we play. FUNCLE's got a can of spray. 2 cars parked under the stars. Light it Funky letters, bold and wild. FUNCLE style, it's never mild. Under moonlight, glowing blue, art comes true under his view. Each brush stroke he's gonna show off those rides in vibrant glow. Fumes and colors fill the air. City lights, no one to care. Lines and shapes, they start to flow. Watch the cars begin to glow. Spray it high, spray it low. Make those colors twist and flow. Funkles are no one's the same. Two cars tagged in his name. Spray it high, spray it low.
Alright, there we go. So I think that'll do. So I may have missed some spots here and there on it, but that's okay. It's just a little bit of a undercoat. So once we get this thing painted in its primary color, or well, its final color, I would say, we should do a little bit of a better job. But I think, yeah, little spots like we missed on the inside of the door jams and stuff like that isn't too bad. So yeah, that is definitely looking much better now that the truck is in one color, even if it's just a primer. It's definitely taken a little bit better shape since we've got it. As for the utility bed, it's also looking very decent now. It's also one color again. So yeah, it was a little bit tricky painting this thing, but I think we managed to get it sorted out more or less as well. So yeah, what I'm thinking is we are going to be painting this truck in its original color. But the utility bed, I might actually get this thing maybe painted in like a matte black rather. So yeah, it's gonna all depend on what we are going to be able to do with this, but I think, yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I'm not entirely sure yet what I want to do with it, but we're definitely heading in the right direction with that. So yeah, I think that is enough work on those vehicles for now of ours. We are going to basically start working on Cyclones, our Camino. So yeah, and just to tell you guys that Hugo was actually very happy with his daughter's car. So we did end up getting that delivered. And yeah, I've also got some good news from Richard. He was very happy with the work we did on his Challenger 2. So yeah, those vehicles have been returned, and yeah, we are basically ready to just look for more customers. We do have Eric's 1968 Dodge Charger over here, which is yeah, basically ready to start stripping. It's just a matter of finishing off this project first, because I think we've got most of the stuff to sort Cyclone's El Camino out today. And then probably by next week, it all depends on time, how much time we have left for this episode, but I think we're only going to be able to get to Cyclone's truck over here. So let's start by putting his leaf springs on. So these are in fact the lifted leaf springs, like I said. So we are going to basically get this thing lifted up and just give it a little bit more clearance for in case he ever wants to go off-roading with this thing. And it should also do very well for a workhorse with regards to moving vehicles and stuff, whatever he wants to do with it. We do have a trailer hitch also that needs to go onto this thing for him. So yeah, I take it he is going to be hauling some stuff with it maybe. So that is definitely, yeah, something we can do and just get the trailer hook installed for him. But for now, let's just focus on getting this suspension put back together. So we do have got the old differential that came out the truck, which is a 4.6. I'm not entirely sure why he went with that differential in it, but yeah, it's definitely a bit strange for a work truck. It's almost as if he had it installed for drag racing, but yeah, it's a bit odd. I don't know. Alright, so the drive shaft is now secure and we have got the differential installed. So we're going to go ahead and do the hubs next at the back. So let's just get this into position and make sure we bolt everything down. Alright, so that is the one. Let's grab the other one. Alright, so this one is also very good. It's almost brand new. So yeah, I decided to just go ahead and reuse this, because there's no use in replacing it if it's still practically brand new. Right, so now what we're going to have to do is maybe get this hub mounted to the front. So I already put all of the other suspension parts back together that I could. So we are just going to install the rest of these things that we need. So before we continue with that, let's quickly get these brake discs fitted all around, because they are going to require the screwdriver. Alright, so this one can go over here, and then we've got the front brake disc, which is the old one that came off the vehicle, so we'll just reinstall that. Alright, let's just quickly grab a screwdriver. We're going to zip these screws down, and also on this side. Alright, and I think that one is, yeah, that one is tight already, so that is good to go. Alright, so next up we are going to grab the wrench, and let's continue with our suspension at the front quickly, because I think we are closer to getting these things put back together than at the back. So let's quickly finalize this front suspension. Upper control arm is in position. It's just a bolt over there. Right, shock absorbers, I did tighten those up. We've got a tie rod on this side. The other one we had to replace. So we've got a brand new tie rod for the opposite side over here. So let's quickly get this installed. Right, and zip it down over there and over there. Right, so let's grab our upper control arm for that side. And we'll just bolt everything down. And that one also, we managed to get it from the top. Right, so this is our brake caliper for the front left, which is still brand new, and I checked the pads and the brake hoses. Those are all decent and still in very good condition. Alright, so that is the front suspension almost sorted. We just need to quickly pop in these torsion bars over there, and let's do this one. Just like that. So that is definitely going to give us a little bit of a ride height. Okay, so we are good to get our wheels installed. Alright, so I think that is definitely going to look very mean. Yeah, that looks very decent. It's almost a little bit big, but it's definitely going to fit. Alright, so let's see. Now we need to start on the back. Obviously, I forgot to put this wheel on, so let's quickly pop this wheel on as well. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so that is sorted. So now we're going to get our handbrake cable installed here. Yeah, hopefully it's going to go on. It's probably going to be a little bit tricky with the lift arm, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave this to last again. So we'll do that once this thing is back on the ground and we are able to do that. Right. Yeah, so let's get some brake pads just like this into these calipers. Alright, and that one over there. Alright, and we're going to get these brake hoses mounted. Alright, let's see if we can get this tightened down. And also this one. Just like that. And this one is for the rear left. So let's get that into position over there. Let's bolt it down. Just like that. And let's grab the other one over here. Alright, so this is the last brake caliper we need to install. Let's just bolt it down there. And also over here. And we'll grab the wheels. Alright, and the last wheel over on this side. Alright, perfect. So we've got the wheels and tires installed. So I think we should be able to lower this thing down. Wait a second. I nearly forgot these shock absorbers. So these also need to go in before we lower this thing down. Alright, so the first one, let's get it mounted over there. And over there, let's grab the last one quickly. Alright, and that sorts out the suspension on the truck now. Alright, so let's get this thing lower down. So I need to still air up the tires. Alright, so let's quickly go and grab our air pump. Yeah, I should probably just take these arms out from under the truck. Alright, so let's do this side as well quickly. Just like that. And let's get our air compressor so that we can get those tires aired up. Yeah, I know I said air pump, but we've got this fancy machine of ours, so we're just going to use this. Alright, so I've got no idea how hard we need to pump these tires. I think let's go 2 bar. I think 2 bar should do the trick just like that. Alright, so where are these valves? Let's just pump them up. Right, there we go. So the tires have been aired up, and yeah, now we can actually get a good idea of what this thing is going to look like. Alright, so let's just put our air compressor down over here for now. So yeah, I think that is actually a very nice height, and the tires actually suits it very well. It's not too big, and I was actually wondering if it's going to rub, but it doesn't look like it's going to touch anything. Alright, so lastly, I just want to get this handbrake cable bolted down. It's a little bit hard to do from when the vehicle is up on a lift. Let's see, there's a bolt here somewhere. There we go. Alright, so we've got that. And I think last but not least, we are going to do some trim on this thing, on the exterior. And then it's going to be over to the interior. So let's get this thing pushed out from our 2-post lift here so that we can work a little bit better on it. Alright, and it's gonna probably want to run away. Let's just catch it over here. Alright, handbrake up. Alright, perfect. Now we can get our trim pieces installed. So the trim we have are basically for the headlights and also for the body parts like the fenders and such. So we're gonna need our headlight here. So I decided to just replace this one headlight. It's definitely, the old one was a bit banged up. So we've got a brand new headlight for there. And yeah, you also notice that I did take the headlight covers off this truck because I actually installed them on the Superbee. Don't know if you guys noticed, but there they are. So these are the ones that came off Richard's Dodge Challenger, and I put them on our Superbee over here, and I think they actually look very decent. Pretty cool, and yeah, hopefully the new owner of the vehicle will appreciate that. Alright, so let's get these trim pieces back onto this truck. Alright, so we've got the one for the tailgate, so that sorts that out. And then we got the one for the bedside on the left, so this goes over to that side. Alright, and we've got the one for the rear on the tailgate itself. So we're going to pop this one on. So there we go. Alright, so I noticed this says 454 cubic inch engine that's supposed to be in this truck. That is not the case. We've got a, yeah, I don't know what that 5.6 liter is called. It's probably something like a smaller block than a 454. It's definitely not a big block. But yeah, we are just going to install this mirror as well on this side because the old one was broken from our donor vehicle. Alright, so now that we have got some of those trim pieces installed, let me quickly pop these trim pieces on the headlights. So there are 4 of those, and yeah, I cannot put these in my backpack for some reason. So we'll just carry them over there quickly and just pop them all in. Alright, very good. And we've got this trim that we needed to replace on the rear left. So we're gonna pop the new one on there, and then we've got the last one for the front right, which is this piece of trim, and that is gonna go onto there. And the rest of the things we need to do to this truck are basically on the interior. So what I'm going to do is we are going to bring the truck basically into the spot where Eric's car is parked. And I think what we'll do is we'll move Eric's car up onto the 2-post lift so that we can start having a little bit of a look at that suspension maybe first. So let me get this El Camino pulled out a little bit further out of the way. Okay, come on. It's a little bit higher now, so you need to like hop into it. Alright, so it fires up on the money. No problems there. Alright, so we're just gonna put it here temporarily. And we do have coolant in this thing, so it shouldn't overheat as it's idling there. Alright, so let me hop into this Dodge Charger. Let's quickly fire this thing up. Alright, let's give it a little bit of an aim. Just more or less there. Should be good for now. Alright, just so that we can have this parking space open for our interior installation of the El Camino. So let me just hop into this thing again. There we go. Alright, and we'll just pull it in on this side. And the brakes actually feel decent, but we still need to top it up a bit because obviously that brake hose at the back that was loose let it leak all of the brake fluid out. So we're just going to have to top that off, which is quite simple. Alright, so let's just pop that over there. We've got our brake fluid over here. Alright, and let's quickly just fill this up. It'll only take a second. So it shouldn't take too long. It's just to make sure that our brakes don't fail. And there we go. That should do the trick. Alright, let's get our cap back onto that. And just close it up. And then we are now ready to start tackling this interior. So as you may know, we didn't have a headliner in this thing. Because we actually bought this panels, or we got these panels from the actual store, brand new parts. So they didn't come with headliners and stuff like that attached. The parts that we got with the truck from Cyclone had some parts on it, but some of them need to be replaced, like these window winders. So this one is the driver's side. It's definitely seen some better days. So we already have got two new ones over here on the table inside. So let's just grab this front left one, which is the replacement for that one. Alright, so we'll zip that down. Alright, then we can get this window removed and just transfer it over to there and bolt it down. Alright, let's see where that other bolt is. It's over there. Alright, so there's our old broken window winder. Well, not really broken yet, but it's not going to last very long. So that's why I just decided to replace both of them. So let's quickly grab this one as well. Alright, and we are going to open this door and just pop it on over there. And that is our front right one, passenger side. And then we obviously need to just transfer the glass over. Alright, so there's our window. Pop it in, and then we'll just see if we can get to these bolts quickly. It's a little bit tricky. Yeah, we might actually see it from up here. Here we go. Alright, and there's the other bolt over there. That's perfect. So we've got our window winders replaced. And I think let's quickly remove this driver's seat that we currently have in here, because this is just a temporary seat that I put in for moving the vehicle up and down, as well as the gear stick that we had in. Alright, so we're just going to pop this off. Alright, and this can just go somewhere in the garage, back here again. And just put it down over there. Alright, so I think let's start with the headliner. I already have the sun visors mounted to this. So this should just pop into place, no problem. Alright, and as you can see, we decided to go with black once again. Because I think black is just a very natural or a neutral color in this situation. It pretty much goes with any color Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some people don't really like the black, but yeah, to me it works, and it's definitely a very nice color for any application. And we need to give a little bit of a hop to get into this truck. All right, so there we go. There's our rear view mirror, securing that part. All right, and let's see what's next. We've got our dashboard. But before we mount the dashboard, we need to grab our cluster up here. So this is the original cluster from the truck, and it still works. And we've got a glove box mounted already, so that is also good to go back in. Alright, so let's pop this dashboard in quick, and we'll just zip it down over there. And over on this side, I'll just bolt it down, or screw it down rather. That is perfect. And I think we are done with the wrench, the screwdriver. We're going to need the wrench now. So the wrench we are going to use to tighten up the seats and the gear stick and the door cards. And then this interior is basically done. So that's the nice thing of having a pickup truck. It doesn't have rear seats and rear panels and all that. Quite simple, very easy. And there's our gear stick installed. So let's grab these door panels. Right, so this is the passenger side. Right, so there's our passenger door panel. That's just bolted down over there. Okay, so we are definitely getting there. Alright, so let me go and grab the other door panel. Alright, so the second door panel is on. And last but not least, we are going to pop the two seats in. So this is our new seat for the driver's side. So let's go and put this into position and get it bolted down. Right, passenger seat next up. Alright, and this is our final piece to the puzzle for the interior. And let's just get that zip down over there, and also these two front bolts. And just like that, the interior has been replaced. So there are just two things missing on this truck, and they are right over here on the table. So we've got our windshield, brand new windscreen. So let's come and just pop this in. Just like that, we've got our windshield in. And then we also need to install this brand new rear glass. So we're just going to pop this into place. And just like that, Cyclone's El Camino has been completed. So I'm not too sure if he would prefer window tint on it. I might actually ask him before I ship it back to him if he wanted some window tint on this thing. But I think it's definitely turned out quite well. This is I mean, from the mangled mess that was delivered to us, or what we collected from Hugo's house, this is definitely a bit of an improvement. So yes, Cyclone is actually also a friend of Hugo's, and that is once again where we got this job from. And I must say, this thing turned out beautiful. I love the color, I love the wheels. It's actually a very good, sturdy vehicle now, and I think I would be able to yeah, get a little bit of appraisal for my work on this one. It definitely turned out nice. I don't think there's anything I would do differently on this truck. It's maybe just a little bit high in my opinion, but yeah, that is kind of what you want if you want some off-road tires on it, and I think it's definitely going to do the job very well for Cyclone. But yes, looking at the time, it is almost time for us to call it a day. But before we do, I think what we can do is just get our Superbee parked maybe next to this beautiful Chevy El Camino, because I want to take some pictures and just yeah, have some memories of these vehicles, because obviously we don't really see these vehicles ever again once we are done with them, especially a beautiful car like this Superbee of ours, which I just want to take for a little bit of a drive as well. So let's get this thing fired up and just see what it does. I hope I'm going to make this turn. Yeah, not a problem at all. Alright, and I actually think this hood scoop works. It's not too high. It doesn't obstruct the vision at all. Alright, so we don't need to go crazy here, but yeah, just so you guys know, this thing has got a couple of ponies. Yeah, that's a nice part of having a little bit of a driveway like this. We can at least test the vehicles a little bit before we go and sell them, or sell them over to the auction, or well, send them off to the auction. But yes, man, I think this Superbee actually turned out great. It's definitely looking very, very good, and I'm hoping this thing will fetch quite a bit of money for us. So yeah, let's just maybe switch it off before we get this thing wrecked and damaged again. But yes, I think that is going to be a wrap for this episode, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate every view, every like. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. But yes, until the next time, cheerio.